Everybody say love. Yes, love. We are talking about love today. Oh, ladies, listen up. Hello, welcome to Ladies. Listen up. I am your host, Gwendolyn G.R. Houston Jack, and we are talking about love today. Yes, love. You know where I got that from? Mama RuPaul. I absolutely love the way he says, everybody say love. Everybody say love. We need more love. And not just for the world and those around us. We need more love for ourselves. So, we are talking about loving ourselves today. Now, let me go ahead and step back for a moment. Let me talk about RuPaul for a hot second because he's one of the people I really admire. Now, I had the beautiful chance of assisting RuPaul years ago, like 2000. It was the year 2000. Absolutely. I didn't wig out. I didn't freak out. He's very tall, beautiful man, beautiful woman. He's very tall. And I remember just trying to keep myself together. But I did. I kept myself together. I didn't even acknowledge that it was like, oh my God, you're RuPaul. I didn't do that. I treated him the way that he should be treated as if any other customer comes in the store. So didn't crowd him, just, help them with some things and what have you. But starstruck? Yes, starstruck. Now, RuPaul is a person that, you see him on TV and he is boisterous and full of life and just yummy. And also an introvert. I was like, well, that may be exactly why I love him the way I do. Because you would think that that's his persona the entire time. But like myself, is nurturing, is welcoming, enjoys people. And then there's a limit. You're like, okay, I'm tapped out. I'm tapping. Uncle. I'm tapped out. Like I need to step away from it. So, in my mind, RuPaul is wise beyond his years, crazy wise beyond his years. And when I think about some of his earlier work to where he is today, impressive, completely impressed. Like how could you not? But I don't know about you guys. I like RuPaul's Drag Race, but I liked a lot of the shows that RuPaul created. If I had the opportunity, because there was this one show, it was like a drag makeover show. They could so make me over. Like, just, I'm good for a 5-minute face. I don't really have much time for anything else beyond that, but. But love the shows. But one of the phrases that has always stuck with me, and I share it every self-love day in February because it comes up, it's like, reminder. It is the phrase about loving yourself. And it says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else? Now, some of us think it's cliche. Some of us feel like everybody says you can't love anybody if you don't love yourself. That's just not really. I'm going to say that's real. It is real. That's just my own experience. My experience has taught me that in order for me to be able to love someone the way that they deserve to be loved, I have to be able to do that for myself. I have to. Because, how do you know what it looks like? if you yourself have never really experienced it. Now, I have been told that because I don't have any natural kids of my own, I don't understand how to love a child. I'm an auntie. I'm a mother through marriage, grandmother through marriage. I can tell you right now, those kids are very much a second part of me, hands down. Like, there is nothing I wouldn't do for them. Beyond going to jail, it's a limit. There's a limit. But there's nothing I wouldn't do for them. But loving them, showing them unconditional love, the same love that I have for myself, allowing them the space to be who they are, allowing them the room to show up as they see fit. Yeah, that's love. The same love that I show for myself. So today, we're going to talk about loving ourselves. And that's a little bit of work. Everything's a little bit of work. Everything is. But this particular work, we may have to kick up a little bit of dust. Just a little bit of dust. Not too much. Just a little. So, you ready? Let me see. How we treat and love ourselves is how we teach others to treat and love us. Okay? So I already know that there are going to be some people who feel like, where did you get that from? I'm just telling you. And yes, in my experience, as being the person who attempted to buy attention and affection, I feel like, no, there's no feeling. There is some experience there in saying, yeah, that's not going to work. It's not going to last. It's not. At the exact same time, when we ask for things from others that we wouldn't even do for ourselves, my question is that what you really want? Like if you wouldn't do it for yourself. So let me set this up. I'm going to take two parts here. The first part is with women, and I'm speaking in a whole as society. Society sees women as supernatural caregivers. From the moment we are born, there is a program that we're supposed to grow up and be amazing mothers after someone has chosen us to be their wife and keep their house and keep them satisfied. That's your path. And then somewhere in there, you can figure out who you are and do your thing. But for the most part, you are here to be a nurturer, to be a caregiver, to help raise the next generation of, I can't even do it with a straight face. I'm sorry, I can't. Now, that is not to say that I don't believe that is the story or the dream for some women. I'm not saying that. What I am saying, though, is that the overall programming is not for every woman. From a very young age, like when you're a kid, when you are a girl child, your very first birthday, holiday, whatever, they're going to give you a baby. Is that your baby doll? Is that your baby? Are you going to be a good mother? We start the programming at a young age, a super young age. It's the words we use, it's the toys we give, and we start telling young girls, you're going to be someone's amazing mother. You're going to be an amazing mother. You're going to take care of your kids, and you're going to stop. Full stop. Who said I want to be a mother? Like, why do I have to be somebody's mother? Maybe I don't want to be somebody's mother. Maybe I don't want to be that responsible to bring another life into this world. Maybe I don't want that for myself. Then the part where you are chosen. You're waiting for someone to choose you to be their partner. You're waiting. You're going to go to college. And college, yes, college is there to get an education, but college is also there for you to find your mate. Is for you to find the person who is going to marry you and make this beautiful family. You guys are going to grow old together. You're waiting to be chosen because, uh, your partner wants a smart woman, a woman who can take care of herself and take care of the household. That's what they're looking for. That's why they're there, to pick their mate. So you should be there, ready to be chosen. That's like the first story that society tells us on a consistent basis. Even when you're older, check the commercials, check the movies. They are showing women who are constantly giving to everybody else, constantly giving to everyone else. They never choose themselves. Like, we can use waiting to exhale as a beautiful example, right? Waiting to exhale. There she is doing her duty as a wife, going to another party she doesn't really want to go to, putting her aspirations and her dreams on the back burner so that her husband from college can get his career going so that she can raise their kids. And then he finds somebody else. He just finds somebody else and leaves her to do whatever. I mean, you are the caregiver. You can take the kids. I'm not going to fight for the kids. I'll take care of my kids. But you can keep the kids. You can keep this house. But is that a common story? I don't want to say it's common, but we know it happens. We know there are a number of women who, I don't want to say got lost in their family, but there are some where their entire identity is wrapped up in being the caregiver for their family. So, i.e., the supernatural caregiver. Mother's always available, no matter how tired she is, no matter how sick she is, no matter that she has worked her 9-hour stint and comes home. She is supposed to have dinner on the table and clean the house. Right? Supernatural. A lot of us as women in this supernatural caregiver persona, we operate from an empty cup. We're giving and giving and giving. We're pouring into everybody else. We never say no. We could be super exhausted, but we're still going to show up and do whatever is done or asked of us. You really can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. I mean, it's true. Like, when you have tapped out, you're tapped out. You know how you pour, you're like, is there anything else in here? I think just like nothing else in there. It's done. The second persona falls in line with this supernatural caregiver, but they're more of a superwoman. They are there for everybody. As a matter of fact, if no one needed their assistance, they wouldn't know what to do, right? So they want to swoop in and save the day for everybody. Even if their kids are 30-something, 40-something years old, them not being needed is a problem because that's their identity. Their identity is someone always needs me, and I always save the day, and I always solve the problems. I always make things right for somebody because that's what I do. That's what I've always done. We take it as as an identity. We go beyond the role and say, no, this is who I am. I am the person who's always there for everybody. I worked late. I carry the load. I never complain. We take it as an identity that if we removed it from that person, they wouldn't know what to do because that's all they know themselves to be is this superhero who comes in and saves the day. That is it. That person puts the needs of everybody else above their own. Have you eaten? No, no, no. I'll eat later. I'm eating. Have you slept? No, no, no. I'll sleep later. I'm good. I'm good. I'll sleep later. I don't need to do. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. I don't have to. They live for it. If they had the option to not be the superhero, I'm not exactly sure what they would do because it's that ingrained. It is literally tattooed on the chest. That's where it is. So I remember in 2020, a lot of people had a epiphany about life. My mother is a retired minister, and I never thought I would quote my mama. I quote my mother quite often nowadays. It's scary, but it's what it is. But something she would always say at a eulogy was, I have yet to see a U-Haul follow a hearse. Now, when I was a kid, I thought, what in the world is that supposed to mean? U-Haul hearses? What? And then as I got older, I recognized we're so busy living life, working, struggling, being the savior for everybody else, that the moment you get a chance to retire, a lot of folks just keel over and die. And all the things that they have worked for, all the little pennies they put aside for that rainy day, all the times they denied themselves vacation, all the times they worked an extra hour or came in on their day off and did all these things for the future, it's gone. And someone else will take their possessions and do whatever they want to do with them. There is no U-Haul following that hearse. Now, the second part that my mother talked about in her eulogy, that's the part that stuck the most with me, which changed the way I operated my own career. And she would say, take your time off. Take your time off, take your vacation, take your PTO. You will be dead and gone, and they will find somebody to work your shift. The world will keep turning. Now, the world does keep turning without us. It does. A lot of us believe that if I'm not here, it just won't get done. Newsflash. It will keep turning. It will. One person does not stop the show. It doesn't. It hasn't yet. Those moments of giving everything for somebody else, making someone else's dream your priority, putting your aspirations on the back burner. There has to be an end to that. Well, take it back. It doesn't have to be an end. It doesn't. But maybe there should be. So in 2020, a good chunk of the world had an epiphany about how we worked and how we lived, how we spent our time. And there were two groups of people. There was this one group that was part of the Great Resignation. I said, you know what? We're not doing this anymore. There's a whole other life out there that I want to live, and I'm going to go live it. I don't have to keep doing this status quo. I'm not doing it. I don't see the point of spending my time working on your dream, getting the bare minimum. The second part, well, it was a blip. It's like, yeah, it's what it is, but I'm gonna go back to the way it was. I like things the way they are. It's perfectly fine. We're not knocking that. But in the midst of all of that was a place of take care of you. Take care of you. Now, I don't know about you guys, but 2020, my goodness. Yeah, counselors, therapists. Oh, the foolishness that came out. It was being able to see the worst part of humanity. It's a lot to take in. It's a lot. And you're trying to figure out, how do I navigate all these emotions with so much death and so much ignorance and all of, like, how do I do that? Take care of you. And I recall hearing someone use the airplane analogy where they say, if we happen to lose cabin pressure, these oxygen masks, they're going to come down. Be sure to put your oxygen mask on first before you take care of anybody else. If your child's on a plane with you and you pass out, it doesn't help your child, right? You put on your oxygen mask first, and then you can help everybody else. So when we talk about loving yourself, putting yourself first, we're not talking about it just because it's a cool thing to say. We talk about it because it is necessary. It really is difficult to go out into the world and say that you love what's going on and that you are looking for love, that you're ready to receive love when you yourself, you don't even really like what's going on over here. There is nothing worse than getting into a relationship with somebody who's not whole. I always say that your partner should complement you. Your partner should not complete you. Now, I hate using the word should, because should is putting my own beliefs and biases on somebody else. You don't really want to go shitting on people. You don't. However, there are some things that experience has taught us. And one of those is you are responsible for your own happiness. You are responsible for dictating how you were treated and how you are loved, because it starts with you. People look at what you do for yourself to figure out how they should do the same. I buy myself flowers. I buy myself nice gifts throughout the year. I get myself great bottles of wine. I make time to meditate. I make time to sit outside in nature and count my blessings. I make time to write down what I'm grateful for on a daily basis. Because a lot of us, a number of us, are blessed beyond measure. So loving yourself is how it all starts. It's one of the steps along the way. And it tends to be the hardest, because a lot of us, and I know I'm using these general terms, but it works for this conversation. A number of us are wondering why no one's picked us. Well, you don't have to want someone to pick you. You pick you. You choose yourself first. Because when you are literally living your best life and loving you for who you are, people are attracted to that energy. They're like, what's going on over there? What is that about? How is she just so, how was that even possible? Now, not only do people get mesmerized by it, there are some that hate it. There are some people that simply want to take your joy, put it in a cage, and smother you. You just want to kill it. Be aware of those people. But for you, you have to choose yourself first. And you have to start doing the work to really love yourself. So, are we ready to do the work? I think it's Deion Sanders who said that when you look good, you feel good, and then you do good, right? Just kind of sum it up. That is true. If you are looking to start an exercise regimen, it starts with the clothes you're wearing. Now, I know you're saying, Gwendolyn, that is baloney. No, it's psychology. When you look good, then you feel good, and then you have a higher chance of performing appropriately. It happens. It's a mind game, but the mind game works. And the more you do it, the more you love the results. And so it becomes a habit after like 21 days. So when you are starting this process of identifying the love for yourself, the one thing, because I have a couple, the one thing I highly suggest is to start your day with daily love affirmations. You got to look into the mirror. You got to lean in and say, Gwendolyn, you are something special. You are amazing. Looking good today, like you always do. You were full of joy. You're beautiful. Now, just don't say it and not believe it. But sometimes, for some of us, and this is where that counselor or therapist can guide you through, we need to say it again and again and again and again. Next to that is write yourself a love letter. Write to yourself. Now, I know people are like, I haven't wrote a love letter since like high school. I get it. It's been a while for some of us. A while. But you can still do it. You can even do it on your phone if you want to. You can even record a video. That'd be really nice. But write a love letter to yourself. Let yourself know what you really enjoy about you and what you bring to the table and how you are a gift to the world. Let yourself know that. And my last thing, because you know I love giving you a good book to read, Guru by RuPaul. It's an amazing book. Oh my God, it's so awesome. It is like beyond awesome. I love the book. Love it. Took it on a cruise, fell asleep in the sun with it because it's that good. But we love reading really good books that promote being your authentic self and loving the life you're living. And so Guru by RuPaul is high on my list of books you want to read. Now, I've said this a couple of times. I'm going to say it again. Don't do the work by yourself. Just got to get a partner. Counselor or therapist is a great partner to have on hand because some of these areas may become a little ugly if you have to dig really deep into some previous situations. But with that, I will say this, as I always say, be sure to give yourself the space and grace to grow and learn.